Welcome to 5WHP News. I'm your anchor, Aman Anan.
And I, Michael Masad.
We're here live from Germany during the heart of the Industrial Revolution.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This indeed is a very special broadcast, as you viewers today are about to witness history. The German Industrial Revolution is here, right now.
This right here is an achievement that is seen as an incredible one, as Germany was one of the last countries to adopt the idea of the Industrial Revolution in the latter part of the 19th century.
Now let's check in with Sarvesh to see how the government is dealing with the Industrial Revolution as a new part of its nation.
Hello, people of the world. I'm Sarvesh Gadri reporting to you live from Germany's capital, Berlin. As you may all know, history is being made as I speak. This revolution will affect one of the most important parts of our country, the government. Germany just became a country in 1871 when Otto von Bismarck took power as the Prime Minister of Prussia. After taking power, he unified all the other states into one powerful German government. Due to this unification, Germany was able to produce more goods such as iron and coal. Also, the railroads boosted transportation and promoted trade. Overall, the Industrial Revolution greatly benefited the government. Now back to you, Aman.
Thanks, Sarvesh. Our first segment today is about social issues during this German Industrial Revolution we are in now.
That's right, Michael. The Industrial Revolution has had substantial social impacts throughout Germany. Between the late 18th and as expected of the early 20th centuries, new family and class structures have emerged to adjust to the new wage economy. In 1800, about 10% of the Europeans lived in cities, but it is expected to increase to 52% of Englishmen, 25% of Frenchmen, and 36% of Germans by 1850. As rural production cannot compete with cheaper factory production, rural workers are moving to work in these new-made factories. As you can imagine, just like any sort of revolution, as the industrialized Germany progresses, more and more jobs are supplied, allowing for German citizens to contain opportunities in the advanced fields of work.
That's quite an accurate view on things, Aman. This shows how the gap between the rich and the poor is being closed down through this revolution.
Yep.
Now let's go live to Ashrith with some breaking news about the German Industrial Revolution and how it's affecting the economy.
German Industrial Revolution is certainly affecting the economy of Germany. Germany is finally using its abundant natural resources to reach its economic strength. As many of us know, Germany is home to great amounts of coal and iron in many regions, and also contains rich soil gained from the 7 Weeks' War and large quantities of sodium and potassium. Moreover, Germany possesses many people capable of making and using the technology and resources to their greatest capability, creating and capitalizing on it as much as possible. This is particularly obvious in the business sector. An example is the growth of the chemical industry. For example, Britain had 30 scientists in the field of chemical industry, whereas Germany has 350, which just shows that Germany has many people that are willing to sacrifice their time to go into different kinds of jobs. And finally, unlike many countries, Germany becomes home to the first free market. This will make Germany have an economic strength in which prices are determined by unrestricted competition between privately owned businesses. This will make and monopolies and makes the industry a better place for everyone.
Believe it or not, we are now moving into our next segment, and there's still much more to come. The main goal of a revolution is to positively impact the people involved, and in this case, we must keep in mind the environmental aspect of change. Michael, you clearly have a correct analysis of this, so could you please expand?
Yeah, definitely. While we as German citizens may see the Industrial Revolution as a great accomplishment, one thing that is suffering is our environment. With our Industrial Revolution, we have seen a huge boom in our population. All those people need wood to make houses, and they need places to live. and that has caused major deforestations of wood all over Germany. The increased amount of population also means an increased amount of sewage that runs in the oceans and rivers. The use of fossil fuels in our factories has contributed to the major air pollution in major industrial cities. This harms plants, animals, and even civilians. With the increase of factories and mines, there has been more and more dumping of factory and mine waste into the rivers. This harms much of the aquatic life and here in Germany. However, I feel, as many would agree, when I say the environmental issues can wait, as the Industrial Revolution is skyrocketing our economy and country to the top.
I definitely like your view of things. And now we're going to go back to Ashreef with an update on how the German Industrial Revolution is affecting our nation's relations with the world.
The German Industrial Revolution benefited greatly from Britain, as did many others. Now, Germany uses much of its engines already invented in Britain. The German Industrial Revolution is also greatly affecting other countries in Europe. For example, Germany now uses its rich iron and coal resources to develop heavy industry, such as iron and steel manufacture. Then they're trading this with other countries such as Britain, which promoted industrialization and made both countries wealthier. It also proved to be an environment that encouraged big businesses and cooperations among large firms. The German banking sector, for example, was dominated by a few large banks that coordinated efforts to increase industry. Also, Germany could export much of its goods, such as cars, to other nations and make money. This trade made Germany allies with many nearby countries. Back to Aman.
Our third and final segment here today is about how the German Industrial Revolution is affecting the lives of our civilians. This revolution is affecting the daily lives of those in Germany, much like the British Revolution affected its own citizens. For the working class, there are 12 to 14-hour work days, hard labor, and little pay for those who are involved in these major forms of work. Life is especially hard for those in the working class in the coal, iron, and sulfur mines, as hazardous conditions are causing many injuries and even deaths. Life for the upper class, however, is very good. Owners of mines, companies, and factories are doing very well, showing the divide between the successful and unsuccessful people involved in the revolution today. We now go live to an interview of a worker injured in a tragic coal mine accident.
I was in a terrible coal mine accident. I was going down to begin work in the early morn, just me and about 20 of the other people who worked in that section of the mine. Then I heard a distant rumbling. Before we all knew it, the whole place was coming down on our heads. I barely made it out alive. The others were not so lucky. Now that I am out of a job and unable to work because of my injuries, we've had to put our 7-year-old son and daughter into work. And yet we are still struggling to put food on the table. I worry what the future of our family will be.
We hope we have taught you all something today about the historic impact the Industrial Revolution is having in our great country. From all aspects of the impacts it is having, I hope you guys have seen both sides of the spectrum.
From all of us here at 5WHP News, have a wonderful day. And as always, we can't wait to see you here again tomorrow.